Hey everyone, it's been a minute since the last podcast. Been pretty busy this summer, enjoying summer a little bit, but really busy in the market. So it's been fun, but I would like to take today to welcome back a returning guest, Emily Blake from Pemberton Real Estate. Emily, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
All right. Well, so the last time when you came on,
hmm
you were on a team. You're pretty new or newer to the industry.
Yeah.
But I was able to watch you grow. So like I met you through social media and I've watched your continued success and your growth. And now you are more of a solo agent,
Right.
right?
Yep.
And now you still get team leads, but you really go after your sphere and your past contacts and build your business that way.
Yep.
So
Correct.
that's really exciting, and it's really challenging. So a lot of real estate agents that are people or thinking that are getting into the market of being a real estate agent, there's a lot that goes into that.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about your journey a little bit. Your journey was you were a teacher, right?
Yep.
And you decided that you wanted to make a career change. Like, how did that all come about?
So I didn't really have a plan for what I was going to do. Real estate kind of just fell into my lap. Taught for three-ish years and then decided maybe I could try something else, and then reached out to a family friend in real estate and went to lunch and they said, do it. So I got my license and was gonna try to do both, teaching and real estate, and then got a little too busy with real estate, just trying to make some money and get some clients, that I went full time.
That's fantastic because a lot of people don't follow that trajectory.
Right.
And what I did when I started is I got on a team as well because I needed somebody to mentor me, provide leads.
For sure.
And I know way too many people that literally try to do it on their own to start with. And then they burn out, because they don't have enough business.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. You could never do it alone, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Too much to know.
Yes. And then it's really hard when you have complications too.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
what do
you
do?
need
Where
support.
do you go?
Yeah,
Who can you go to for support?
for
Right.
sure.
So what was that fear like? Was there like great fear, or are you kind of the person that says, I'm just going to do it and we'll take it on?
Well, I was super scared.
Okay.
But I am somebody that just kind of does something 100% once I decide to do it. But the time when you're just not making money, you're learning everything, the contracts, how to get leads, cold calls, door knocking, all those things. It's so new, and it's honestly not my personality type to be doing cold calls and reaching out to people for business. It's more authentic to me. So that was super challenging, just trying to wrap my mind around real estate.
Right. Well, let's talk about that cold calling, because that is not easy for most people.
Right.
Right. So, but you were on a team and you kind of had to do it. Right. They pushed you into doing it and you did it. So what was that feeling like then when you actually did accomplish that, or you got like, hey, I got a lead from this cold call. It's not a pointless, right?
Yeah. It's super exhilarating.
Right.
It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Tell everybody in the office.
Got one.
Yeah.
Right. No, it's fun because a lot of people, I had my own, like, oh, this is pointless, right? Because you can call 20 people and like get shut down, right?
Oh gosh, yeah.
If not 50 people or 100 people, but then you do get that one, and obviously it pays off really well when you do get it, right?
Right.
And some of them may not be as cold as possible. When I started, I did get a lead. Like, here, these are 1,000 leads that we've been in contact in the last like 3 years, right? So they've had contact, so you can contact them again. Not like the whole 90-day rule. At least that's for mortgage. Like if they reach out but they never have an actual contact, after 90 days you can't call them anymore.
Sure.
But so like when I started, I literally like got my license, and it was a process to get it. And then I called a good friend of mine who was an agent, longtime agent, and I said, hey, dude, I just got my license, and he was like, whoa, 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 shut me down like right away. Like said, I have my lender. He's
Oh,
my guy. I'm like, okay, well, that's great. He said, what you're doing, I've had plenty of friends, become loan officers. What you're doing is very hard.
yeah.
And like, there's mistakes that can happen and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, well, I get that, but I'm calling a list of 1,000 people.
Hmm.
If I get somebody, can I give them to you? Right.
Sure.
And he's like, well, sure.
Yeah.
So fortunately for me, that day, I get a buyer, get him pre-approved,
Hmm.
call him the next day. Hey, I got this guy. He's pre-approved for whatever it was. It wasn't probably a big loan, but like, here you go. And he's like, my guy has never given me anybody in 13 years. So we ended up doing like 29 transactions the first 12 months together.
Oh my
So
gosh,
it's very
Brandon.
good. So it worked. That's
Wow.
how I got my start.
That's
So it
incredible.
was off of cold calling.
Yeah.
So it's not easy. It's very tough.
Hmm.
But it worked. Right.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that was back then we lenders who had Zillow leads.
sure.
We can still buy Zillow leads. It's just I don't trust getting the good leads out of Zillow anymore for a lender because they have
Right.
their own ZHL.
Hmm.
But so it was a little bit, on that side. So I was able to get enough leads to give back. And,
Right.
and as a lender, we don't get paid as much.
Hmm.
But usually you get 2 or 3 back from one transaction, right?
Oh, for
So
sure.
it worked out great. Him and I were almost 50% that year, though, of giving back and forth. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's so
so
awesome.
that's what accelerated my career because I had the fear. I'm assuming you did too. It's like,
Hmm.
okay, what if I have a couple of good months, but then I don't have like some good months
Oh, yeah.
and I don't
And
have
you
a
hear
paycheck?
about it all the time
Correct.
from different agents, how it's a roller coaster. And then you just have to trust that you're going to make it almost and trust in yourself.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, I do because at first for me the first 6 months of the first year was the hardest because you'd have these swings where okay I got 3 deals this month.
Yeah.
And I got 1, right? I
Hmm.
got 4. And mind you, I was I had a house payment, I had a boat on the river, like
Hmm.
I sold my house so I could live.
Oh, sure.
So it didn't sell right away though.
Yeah.
Like the plan was like, oh, I'm going to sell a house and I'll transition into. It didn't sell right away, so
Hmm.
I did have some giant bills right off the bat, and
Hmm.
made it work. But so I was also around high performers.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
being on a team, and Pemberton has a very big team, some
Hmm.
big teams on there. So that was where you really got some education. Correct.
Right. Yeah. Being around high performers, you can ask them any questions, and it's like they've been through it. And as a new agent, you're not really sure about a lot of things, and it's important to have those people for your clients too, to know that they're taken care of with you because you're surrounded by people who know what's going on, even if you haven't.
Correct.
Hmm.
Just like in mortgage, right? When we're talking, somebody whether they're buying and they're buying with cash, it's still hundreds of thousands of dollars for a home,
Right.
right? It's a lot of money.
Hmm.
So on the mortgage side, there's so much you need to know, right?
Yeah.
So you can't know everything. So,
Mhm.
but being able to have the conversations like, let me look into it. Let's see what options we have for you.
For sure. Hmm.
And then it just alleviates a lot of that mindset on their side or their fear on their side. Like, hey, this person doesn't know what they're doing.
Right. Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
Which was a huge struggle for me when I started because people knew me as Emily the teacher. And, a younger realtor, they kind of, I know they didn't trust it.
Right.
So
Like,
I had to prove myself. Hmm.
well, good job because you
Oh, thank
obviously
you.
did well because you are obviously succeeding, and I love it.
Hmm.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that's where I saw it was on your social media, right? And then the people see the closings on social media,
Right.
right? They see all that, but they don't know where like the months that you were like, did I make the right decision?
Hmm.
Like, am I doing the right thing for my clients? Um, I know I had one of those because I had one in my career, early in my career, where I did make a major mistake.
Sure.
And I mean, it about killed me
Oh.
because I calculated income incorrect,
Hmm.
and we were just over the max program guidelines.
Mm.
And my biggest mistake was, as soon as I found out, I called the client
Mm,
and said, "Hey, we got an issue," without having a solution for
sure.
it. So I always tell everybody, is like, if you find something like that, if there is a mistake, we found a solution, but it was too late.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I stirred up a hornet's nest,
Oh.
right?
Yeah.
Because they went right to the agent. The agent like freaked out,
Right.
went to another lender.
Mm-hmm.
That lender found out the solution. They were more versed than I was
Mm.
before I could.
Okay.
Like, by the time I called them solution, it was over,
Mm-hmm.
right? And but I was like, oh, I was crushed because I don't like. Nobody likes to make mistakes,
Right.
They happen.
Mm-hmm.
They happen to longtime vets. People. It just things can happen. Like
Mm-hmm.
things can inadvertently be missed, or someone like, oh, I didn't think about telling you this,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So stuff like that does happen. But in those times, like, what really kept you going?
I think care for my clients and knowing that when I go to bed at night, I put my first foot forward. Like I did everything I could for them. And I think there are some agents that might not care as deeply and they can just sleep. I can't sleep if I do something incorrect. Like I need to handle it, need to find a solution for my people.
100%. I've come up with a few solutions at about 2 a.m. in the morning.
Right.
Right. So like, oh, I know how I can fix this.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I just did that last week. And then my problem is I can't get back to sleep. And I'm like, just go to sleep.
No.
Like, let me fix it in the morning. You got the solution. It should work. Do a little prayer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Faith is a huge part of it too. Because, I mean, you don't know like where you're going to be in 2 years as an agent or mortgage lender. So you have to, I have to have faith. So
1000%. I'm walking my dogs and I'm like, okay, can we make this work?
yeah, right.
And my thinking, the biggest challenges we have today for the clients, right? The borrowers, the buyers, we call them borrowers on our side, you call them the buyers on your side. But the biggest problem we have right now is just the affordability factor.
Right.
Right. And that's where the biggest challenges come in as a lender, because the problem that we have is the volatility right now in like rates.
Yeah.
Whereas, and the cost of homes, and specifically, you start talking about first-time home buyers, right? It's like, okay, well, we have you pre-approved for $350,000. What does that get you for a single-family home?
Not much.
Right.
Right.
So you're already at the top of their budget. It's not much. Maybe it's not even ideal areas that they want to live in. We start looking at townhomes, and then the townhomes now, the HOAs are so ridiculous. It's like, well, that doesn't help solve any problems either. So now you're just pushing everything in the max, and just if something goes the wrong way,
Yeah.
you can have a borrower or buyer that doesn't approve anymore.
For
So
sure.
it's that's the biggest struggle where we have today. And I hate it for the clients, because they get excited. You give me a client, they're excited to buy a single family home. They've been looking online, and then reality comes. They're like, here's what a payment looks like.
Right.
Here's what the cash down is. Here's where everything comes in. And that's where people start to get like, oh, I'm not so excited anymore. Right. So it's a challenge. And that brings me into right now, like today's buyer isn't the same buyer anymore.
Right.
Right. So we'll talk about like the first time home buyer, where we just talked about, where it's just challenges on, just can we find a home for them, right? But what are you seeing from other buyers right now? Because the market's really shifted in the last in the last year.
Sure.
From a few years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, there is not enough inventory. So then when we do find one that will work for them, a lot of times first-time home buyers don't necessarily know the ins and outs of home ownership and things like inspections. They can really scare people. And I feel like that has shifted in the generations too, where inspections are scary now to some people, and I really have to educate them, and so do the inspectors. I feel like this is normal in a house that's 20, 30, 40 years old, but this is what you can afford. You're not going to get new.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I used to be in the car industry, so we always said like if you wanted a new car,
Right.
you have to buy a new car, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've had plenty of clients too, like, oh, we have this and this and this, and it's yeah, it's a 30, 40-year-old, maybe it's a 100-year-old home,
Right.
right?
Oh, yeah.
You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have some issues with that. And I do feel like the buyers have got way more picky in
Mm-hmm.
that aspect. Um, not just from like the property, it's the type itself. That's where a lot of people I see were like, hey, we pre-approve,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just they shop
Right. For
once,
sure. Mm-hmm.
right? Which is fine. I mean, you want them to be happy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's where I do see agents, like I know some agents that are really good at just
Mm-hmm.
right. Um, I feel like those are just transactional,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not the ones like you like to take. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
we talked earlier, and you had mentioned like one of the things that you were like most important to you was really getting into like making sure that this is the home for them.
Right.
This
Mm-hmm.
isn't just a transaction for you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. If they're not happy, my heart's broken.
Yes.
But I'll take like the $100,000 condo buyer and
Oh,
I'll work my butt off for them as long as they're happy.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But talking about those buyers, like now they're also coming armed
Sure.
with ChatGPT,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And TikTok and YouTube, and
Mm-hmm.
so do you feel that challenging in a little bit because they might have perceptions that are different than what the reality is?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I can tell right away once they're looking something up on ChatGPT and they'll send me, exact verbiage of what they want in amendments and negotiations. And I just really have to dial it back and realize this is today's day and age.
Sure.
They don't understand that's not correct.
All right.
So, but yeah.
Yeah. I can see that quite a bit where it's like, oh, we're going to ask for all of these things, right?
Right. Or like 100 things off the inspection report.
Yes. Yes. Here's the inspection. ChatGPT, here's an inspection report. What should I ask?
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you ever find like parents and other, that's where I find
Yeah.
the biggest challenges
Mm-hmm.
that other people get in their ear.
Sure. Yeah. I really welcome parents, and I think that it's best to make them feel comfortable in the situation so then they trust you as an agent, especially a younger agent. And then I think it's helpful for my first-time homebuyers, younger clients that trust their parents too, to make sure I address that they're so welcome to come with to all these things, call me, whatever you need. But it can be a little bit like, oh my gosh, seriously.
It can be.
They're not right. But
Yeah, yeah. But it does help. That's better than ChatGPT,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
right?
I mean,
So,
it's a huge thing to buy a house.
right.
So you want your people
Yeah.
involved.
And what and you don't want is to parents to be left out and something comes up and
Exactly.
guess what?
Mhm.
Now I knew you shouldn't have worked with,
For
you know,
sure.
right?
And you
So,
want their referral too.
yes,
Turn
there
it
you go.
around on them.
Right. So that's a good salesperson. That's a good
Right.
agent. I mean, you're earning everyone's trust and in working through today's information age,
Mhm.
right? Because everybody can get that. It can be misconstrued.
Mhm.
I try to let everybody know, like, hey, you can find all this information. I do this every day.
Mhm.
If I'm not right on some things, which I'm not right on everything, that's for sure, right?
Mhm.
I've had to like course correct because things have changed myself. Like a few years ago, Fannie Mae was a different little guidelines on how they did, or FHA was how they did gifts and how they do stuff today. So there's things that
Sure.
change,
Mhm.
right, all the time. So we always have to course correct or look at things.
Mhm.
But when you were talking about the relationships versus transactions, you had mentioned that was one of the biggest things that you had said you truly care,
Mhm.
right? You truly care. You lose sleep. You don't rush, right? Um, where does that all come from? Like, what is that all about? It says a lot about you.
Right. It's a good question. I I think honestly, my faith.
Yeah.
A lot of it is that. And then, I don't know, just my heart.
Yeah. Well, it shows that
Caregiver.
you
Yeah.
have a great moral compass,
Right.
number one,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're a caregiver and you want to make sure that everyone is happy,
Mm-hmm.
right? What do you really want to be known for? Like as a real estate agent, as you're growing your business, you're in your first career, your careers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the 10-year looks like for you? Like, have you thought about that?
For my goals, I think I like to just dial it back and client by client, just making people happy and they trust me and then they want to continue to work with me. So hopefully in 10 years, I have a full referral based
Right.
business, but I think it's just truly being a great agent for my people.
And that's the best way, in my opinion, to look at it
Mm-hmm.
because, you can put out there, and I've even been guilty of this. I want to be $100 million producer, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it takes stages to get to that, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And you don't want to lose sight of the reason why you got into the business in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to do if you start putting these giant goals out there.
Sure. Yeah.
Emily, I really appreciate you coming back on.
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun. It's always
Yeah.
great seeing you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to seeing your continued success going forward. We talked about before this podcast that maybe we can do an on-site at a
Mm-hmm.
listing or something. I
Yeah.
think that would be fantastic.
For sure.
So I look forward to doing that with you again.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, Emily Blake, we have all of her information below. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions for Emily or myself, please reach out. But again, Emily, thank you for coming on.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Take care, everyone.